Okay, everybody, welcome to Design and Technology. Now, this course it's the first in a three-credit design and drawing sequence. So, just to let you know, this course typically leads to it's a prerequisite for architectural design, which has been reworked this year. It's actually half architectural design and half advanced 3D CAD, and then the capstone course is advanced design and innovation. But this is kind of the foundational course. So, in design and tech, students learn how to design and draw things using different mediums, ranging from hand drawings to 3D CAD, which is computer aided design, and 2D CAD. So I'm going to kind of go through the things that the students are going to learn this year, and given the changing times and this hybrid model of learning, I've really had to rework this course from the ground up. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the things that have changed, the things that are new, and the things that have remained the same. The things that have remained the same are our kind of overarching concepts. So the things that we cover in this course are problem solving, concept sketching, and technical drawing. And the technical drawing part is what has really changed significantly. And we do focus a lot on industrial design, so designing products. So one of the foundational concepts that we talk about are just what is designed, and really helping students understand that just about everything that they do, everything they interact with, everything they use and see and sit on and walk through on a daily basis has been designed by someone. And from early on, students begin to develop an appreciation for that, for what goes into designing everything that's around them. So we start with an introduction to the design process, and this year we did it with what I think was a fun project. It was called the Paper Span Challenge, and I gave students just a sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper, and they had to create with no fasteners, no tape, nothing else, just that paper. They had to create a structure that was able to span the longest distance possible without sagging or touching the table. And in doing so, they're using the same process that they're going to use throughout this course and beyond, starting by initiating the design, um, ideation sketches, so brainstorming sketches, coming up with their optimal solution, prototyping in most cases. In this case, they did that. They made their paper structure, and then reflecting on that. So thinking back as to what are the things that went well, what are the things that didn't go so well, and if they had the opportunity to start over again, what might they do differently? So I like to do that right from the beginning of the course, before they even have any formal skills in drafting or in CAD, just to be able to follow that process and be able to solve a problem in a way that's systemic. So I'd say the biggest shift is the fact that typically we've used drawing boards, T-squares, and just mechanical drawing instruments to convey our ideas, and that's typically what the first third of the course has been. Because there isn't really a practical way for students to do that from home, we've gone much more into technical sketching versus technical drawing, and it's actually gone quite well so far. This is what we've been working on for the past few weeks, is being able to use a combination of freehand drawing techniques and technical sketching, so using circle templates and using straight edges like rulers to be able to get an idea out of our head and onto a piece of paper in a way that really communicates our idea. So we've been working a lot on sketching and shading and maintaining proportions. So this is where we're at right now. From here, what we're going to start really soon is another design challenge. So we had the Paper Span Challenge as kind of an introduction. Product improvement is going to be our first design challenge, where the students now have a background in drawing, or really how I think of it as graphic communication. So being able to communicate your idea on paper. So, for example, taking a simple product like a paper cup and thinking about ways that you can improve upon that very basic piece of technology. So I'm excited to start this project. Again, they're going to start using that design process from beginning to end, thinking about their constraints, what are the things that are limiting their ideas, brainstorming different potential concepts, and then coming up with a final solution. From there, we're going to get into kind of more technical sketching, 3D kind of drawings, isometric, oblique, and perspective drawings. So we're going to get into that after our next design challenge. And then we'll get into measuring before we get into our first piece of CAD software. And CAD is computer aided design. So we're going to be using a free program called SketchUp, which is just one of my favorite programs to use. Once we get a foundation in SketchUp, then we might be able to 3D print some of the things that we design. So this is a phone stand that we did last year that I intend on doing again. Then we'll get into AutoCAD. This is kind of our industry standard 2D piece of CAD software. And from there, by the time we get to one of my favorite projects, students are going to now have a foundation in hand drawing, in 3D CAD, and in 2D CAD. For this project, the iconic chair design project, students typically work in groups. They research a designer that has the work in the Museum of Modern Art. And what they do is they design a chair inspired by the work of that designer or that artist. So in the past, this has always started with a 2-view hand drawing and a cardboard model. This year, because by the time they get to this project, they're going to have a foundation in 3 different types of graphic communication. I'm considering giving them options, right? So instead of having to do a hand drawing, if they're more comfortable with either SketchUp or AutoCAD, I really want to try to work that in where they get to pick the medium that they choose to convey their idea. And then after that, if we have time, which I think we will, I want to get a little bit into parametric modeling. So this is the advanced 3D CAD software that we use in the second year, but I'd love to give them a little bit of exposure if possible. Now, grading, participation is 10%. Quizzes are 10% when I give them, which is very rare. 40% for classwork and 40% for projects. Extra help this year is going to be period 3 on Tuesdays and after school on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Now, students have to email me in advance to sign up for extra help, and they are aware of that. And of course, I blew through this pretty quickly, but time is short, so I wanted to have time for questions.